The United States couldn't have asked for a more dangerous first opponent. Not because Paraguay is one of the best teams in the world, because they're exactly the kind of team nobody wants to play in a World Cup opener. When most casual fans look at Group D, they see the United States and assume this should be straightforward. Home World Cup, packed stadium, big expectations, a squad full of players from Europe. Then they look at Paraguay and think, America should win that. Maybe. But World Cups have a habit of humiliating teams that think like that. Just ask Argentina. In 2022, Argentina arrived in Qatar as one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. Their first opponent? Saudi Arabia. 90 minutes later, Argentina had lost. The eventual world champions started their tournament with one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history. That's the thing about World Cups. The gap between teams is often much smaller than people think. And Paraguay is exactly the type of opponent that can make a favorite uncomfortable. For people who don't watch soccer, here's the simplest way to understand this match. The United States wants a game. Paraguay wants a fight. And those are very different things. The US enters this tournament carrying enormous expectations. This is the biggest moment in modern American soccer. The World Cup is back in the United States for the first time since 1994. Back then, Major League Soccer didn't even exist. Today, American players compete for clubs like AC Milan, Juventus, Monaco, and Bournemouth. For years, people have said soccer is growing in America. Now comes the obvious question. How much has it actually grown? That's what this tournament is really about. Not qualifying, not participation. Proof. Proof that the United States can be more than a developing soccer nation. Proof that all the investment, academies, and infrastructure actually matter. And that's why this first game feels so important. Win and everything calms down. Lose, and suddenly the pressure becomes enormous. Because in the World Cup, there aren't many opportunities to recover. The group stage is short. Every result matters. Every mistake matters. Every point matters. And Paraguay knows that. Paraguay arrives with a completely different mindset. This is a nation of roughly 7 million people. It's surrounded by football giants. Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, countries with legendary football histories. Yet Paraguay has consistently found ways to compete. Not by producing the biggest stars, not by playing the prettiest football, by being incredibly difficult to beat. Historically, Paraguay has built its identity around discipline, organization, physicality, defensive structure. They don't care if they're the more entertaining team. They care about surviving. And survival is a useful skill at the World Cup, especially against a host nation. Think about it from their perspective. Almost everyone will be talking about the United States. The crowd will support the United States. The television coverage will focus on the United States. The headlines will be about the United States. Paraguay gets to play with freedom. And underdogs love that, because all the pressure belongs to someone else. That pressure will fall on players like Christian Pulisic. If you only know one American soccer player, it's probably him. He's been the face of American soccer for years. But what makes Pulisic important isn't just his talent. It's his ability to create something when nothing seems available. Those moments matter against teams like Paraguay, because Paraguay will almost certainly try to make this game frustrating. They'll defend deep, close spaces, slow the tempo, break rhythm, force the US to be patient. And patience is harder than it sounds, especially when 70,000 people want you to score. The longer a game stays scoreless, the stranger it becomes. Fans get nervous. Players get impatient. Simple decisions become difficult. That's when mistakes happen. And Paraguay will be waiting for those mistakes. One player worth watching is Miguel Almiron. Premier League fans know him from Newcastle. MLS fans remember him from Atlanta United. He's exactly the kind of player that can punish an attacking team. Fast, direct, relentless. The United States will probably spend long stretches attacking. If they lose the ball in bad areas, Almiron becomes dangerous immediately. Then there's Julio Enciso, one of Paraguay's brightest young talents. Players like Enciso don't need many chances. One moment can be enough. That's another thing new soccer viewers often misunderstand. The better team doesn't always create 20 chances. Sometimes they create 3 and score 1. Soccer isn't basketball. You don't get 100 possessions. You get moments. And those moments carry huge weight. That's why set pieces are so important. Corners, free kicks, long deliveries into the penalty area. They're soccer's version of a red zone possession. Everything slows down. Everyone gets into position. Then chaos begins. A single corner can completely change a match. Paraguay knows this. They don't need to dominate possession. They don't need to control the game. They just need one opportunity, one header, one rebound, one mistake, one goal. The United States has to avoid giving them those opportunities. That responsibility starts with Tyler Adams. He may not be the most famous player on the field, but he might be the most important. Casual viewers often focus on goals and assists. Adams does something different. He prevents problems before they happen. When the US loses possession, he's often the first player trying to stop a counterattack. When space opens up, he's usually the one covering it. His best games often look quiet, and that's exactly the point. If Tyler Adams has a quiet game, things are probably going well. If he's constantly sprinting to fix problems, the United States could be in trouble. Then there's Folarin Balogun, a player many American fans have been waiting years for. The US has often produced good athletes, good midfielders, good wingers, but true goal scorers have been harder to find. Balogun changes that. He's the type of striker who can disappear for 20 minutes and still decide a match. That sounds strange to new viewers. In other sports, being invisible is usually bad. In soccer, it can be completely normal. A striker's job isn't to touch the ball constantly. It's to be in the right place when the opportunity arrives. One run, one finish, one goal. Game changed. Against Paraguay, that's exactly what the United States needs. Not endless possession, not beautiful passing sequences. Goals, because the first goal could determine everything. If the US scores first, the entire match changes. Paraguay has to attack more. Spaces appear. The crowd relaxes. The game opens up, but if Paraguay scores first, now things get interesting. Suddenly the underdog can sit deeper, defend more aggressively, waste a little time, frustrate the crowd, increase the pressure. Every minute starts feeling shorter. Every missed chance feels bigger. And that's when World Cup games become uncomfortable. The biggest tactical battle may actually be emotional. Can the United States stay calm? World Cup hosts carry unique pressure. Every touch gets analyzed. Every substitution gets questioned. Every mistake gets replayed. The expectation to win can become a burden. That's where Mauricio Pochettino comes in. He's coached at Tottenham, Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea. He's managed some of the biggest players in the world. Now his challenge is different, managing expectations. Because this match isn't about proving America can play beautiful soccer. It's about proving America can handle pressure. Those aren't always the same thing. The strongest teams don't just play well when everything is comfortable. They play well when things become awkward, when chances are missed, when opponents refuse to cooperate, when momentum disappears. Paraguay will test exactly that. And that's what makes this game fascinating. Not because it's the biggest match of the tournament, because it's the first real test. The first moment where all the excitement becomes reality. For casual viewers, here's what I'd watch. Watch Christian Pulisic. Watch Tyler Adams. Watch Paraguay's counterattacks. Those moments could decide the game. And most importantly, watch the crowd. But Paraguay has exactly the profile that causes problems in tournaments. The United States isn't just playing Paraguay. It's playing expectation. It's playing pressure. It's playing 4 years of anticipation.